Welcome to the Windy City Benders podcast, presented by Beer League Talk with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, Jarom, and Tanner.
And Dave Bolland. Holy shit, is it a good day today? Holy cow.
Holy jumping.
Welcome. Holy jumping. Hey, that's our next one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Windy City Bender podcast, like the intro said, presented to you by Beer League Talk. This is episode 65, the Andrew Shaw, and we are hashtag pumped, right, Jarom?
Hashtag pump, baby.
Hashtag pumped. Oh my God, is today a cool ass day because we've got an interview with David Bolland and Maple a little bit.
Yeah, remember that guy that won 2 cups? He was awesome.
The guy that scored a game-winning Stanley Cup Finals goal. Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Remember number 36 for the Blackhawks?
He was awesome.
We cover that and much, much more. We'll get to
How
that
awesome he
in a
is.
little bit. He was the coolest. Got a full squad today for the first time in forever. That's what happens when Dave Bolland comes on the podcast. So,
Thank God you didn't do that interview in him.
we've got Poetz and Nolly. How you doing?
Hey.
And Tanner.
By that.
Welcome back. And we got Jarom.
How's it going, boys?
Friggin' fantastic.
Boy.
Boys.
As per usual, we'll start off with some...
Fuck me.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, Tanner, can I get my word in? Hawks!
What are we starting with?
Hawks talk.
There you go. There you go. A little bit of Hawks talk. Starting off with the biggest news from the Blackhawks from the past, probably in the offseason so far, to be quite honest with you. The defense position was getting a little crowded with all the prospects, all the moves that they made, all the veterans that they have. Somebody had to go. Turns out that somebody was Henry Jokiharju.
Bullshit.
It's shipped off to Buffalo for Alex Nylander. And it's a bit split in our group on how we feel about it. So we'll start with the nays. With the nays over there. Why are we upset? What are we feeling? Let's have a group therapy session here.
Well, see, I am doing better than when it first happened. At first, I was very upset. It's... I don't know how to feel because I'm excited to see what Nylander can do. Obviously, the Hawks have done this before with Dylan Strome, turned around a 3rd overall pick, and Nylander's an 8th overall pick, and everybody says he's got the potential, he's got the skill. I mean, the Hawks had his dad before, his brother's in Toronto. He can wheel, he can play. I mean, I don't doubt that he has the skill, and I'm excited to see what he can do. But why do they keep trading top prospect defensemen for forwards when all they talk about is how they need defensemen? Not only that, they're shipping off a right-handed defenseman, one of the most needed assets of any team out there. So, and all you get back is one player. You get a 1-for-1 and a guy who's been in the AHL for 3 years. I mean, Jokiharju's played in more NHL games than Nylander has, and Nylander's been around longer. I just don't get it. If you would have got at least a couple of draft picks or something back, I would have been like, okay, at least you got that. I know there's a lot more coming for the Blackhawks prospects, and I'm excited for that still. I was really excited for Jokiharju, and Lazarus was tweeting it out. When Quenneville was here, he was saying on how high Quenneville was on Jokiharju. He hadn't seen him that high on anybody other than I can't think of who it was, and that's Saad, thank you. And I mean, look at how Saad was at the beginning for the Hawks. It's just Q doesn't get high on people, and he was high on Jokiharju. Obviously, he's gone. It's different with Colleton in there, but I don't know. I mean, a quick right-handed defenseman that can move the puck sounds pretty fucking awesome to me.
Everybody talked about how Nylander has this potential, like, you know, he just needs to find that motivation and all that kind of stuff. But then you're looking at people talking about what Buffalo was getting, and every single person that I saw, like, reading tweets or, like, listening to, like, analysts and all that, they're saying Buffalo's getting an NHL-ready defenseman that he can step up and he can be that guy now. Like, that's the most frustrating thing. It's like, I understand that we need to move some of those D. We had that logjam. But it's like, why are you moving a guy that could potentially be your top two, for definitely top four, but he could have been a potential top two, the core member of that defensive group? That's the most frustrating thing about this, I think. And then the return, like Nolly said.
I feel like he didn't get a shot last year. I mean, he had games, but I don't feel like he had a full shot. Like, if he would have been playing this year, I think it would have been a lot better. And I thought he was still pretty good last year. And I sent you guys tweets of somebody going into the crazy analytics that I don't understand very well, but I understand when people explain them to me, that he was, let me pull it up real quick. Somebody else can talk for a second.
Bowman's got this whole thing too with like trying to take these first round picks that just aren't panning out and trying to be like, okay, sell cheap and, you know, hopefully they'll blow up. Well, he's 1-for-1 right now with Yurko and Strome. I think he's banking on this being another Strome situation, and I hope I'm playing this exact thing in a year saying, oh, what a fucking idiot I was. But it's like, at what point do you got to stop saying, like, okay, I need to try to find that lottery ticket and build with what we have?
So the tweets were about like Corsi and everything like that. It showed that while in the NHL, Jokiharju was Chicago's best defender at preventing entries, creating zone exits, and best primary shot contributor, all while on his ELC. Obviously, it was just a small sample size because he didn't play the full year, and obviously the Hawks didn't win a bunch of games. So, like the other defensemen, their numbers are going to be a little different than that. But Jokiharju played while he was there before Carlton came in, and then while Carlton came in when they still weren't doing so good. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he has the potential, and like Jarom said, a lot of like everybody, all the Buffalo fans are tweeting out that they just hosed us, and I feel that way because, like I said, if it was more than just a 1-for-1, I might feel a little better about it. But I was very high on Jokiharju.
I think you're right. I don't think it's a hose by any means. I think right now, Buffalo wins this deal just right off the bat. And I agree. There should have definitely been more to this deal for Jokiharju, for sure, whether it's a different prospect or a draft pick or what have you. Fuck taking Isamov, I don't know. But I'm kind of okay with the deal in itself because, like I said, the defense for the Blackhawks is so overcrowded. I'm going to go down the list real quick. Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Eric Gustafson, Connor Murphy, Calvin DeHaan, Olimata, Carl Dahlstrom, Slater Cuckoo, and then in the system coming up, Adam Boquist, Nicholas Beaudin, Ian Mitchell. I mean, I've listed off 10 names just there of players who could potentially all be in the running to make an NHL lineup in a year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
something had to happen. Somebody had to go. And if you're going to take a look at that list and see, you know, who's probably got the most upside, it was probably Henry Jokiharju out of that whole thing. Who's going to end up being the most attractive? Keith and Seabrook are both old. Eric Gustafson had one breakout year. You never know what you're going to get from him. Connor Murphy's just okay. Calvin DeHaan's hurt. Olimata is just okay. Nobody really likes Carl Dahlstrom. Slater Cuckoo's a journeyman. Nobody really knows anything about Boquist, Beaudin, or Ian Mitchell.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have, out of all those guys you listed that are on the team right now, there's 2 right-handed defensemen. Like I said, right-handed defensemen are biggest commodity, and you said the highest value is Jokiharju. Then why the fuck are you just getting Alex Nylander back?
No, and that's what I mean. I agree. There should have been more coming in for sure.
I'm just like I wanted Jokiharju on the team. I have the picture of Jokiharju and Boquist standing together in their jerseys. I was so fucking excited for that tandem, and I'm still hurt. I hope Nylander tears it up. I really do, and I think he can. I think he's got the potential to be like what Strome did last year. like I said, he's got the talent, and even if it's just a motivation thing, being in a locker room with Taves, Kane, Keith, Seabrook, Crawford, all those guys, like those are the guys you want him to be around.
Those should
Like
be motivation enough.
Like Dave Bolland said in our interview. But no, like I still think I just wanted Jokiharju.
I don't think I will ever be okay with this trade. Like, I don't care if Nylander turns out to be another Strome. It's when 4 or 5 years down the line, when we have this a potential gaping hole in our D. It just, I don't know. I just felt like he was primed to be the guy, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now you got Boquist is definitely going to be the guy in a couple years. They are going to start talking to, it was either Bodine or Mitchell. I think it was Mitchell about next week about a contract for him. So,
Yeah,
and Bodine said that he wants to, and Bodine wants to go pro. So, I mean, we'll see. They still have good prospects, but I was just, if you have all 4 of those guys up, that's fucking unreal. In the next 4 years, all those 4 guys are your top 4 guys. Like,
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
oh shit, Tanner, you're here.
You guys fucking talk your side. So like, I'm thinking, I'm not mad at the trade at all. It's like I'm cool with it.
Right.
Like Poetz said though too. Like I feel like they could have gotten more, but it could just be like a move that they're making because of like future cap considerations that they're going to be facing. Like Jokiharju has 2 years left on his contract. And like the rest of like the Hawks defensemen that they like, they're literal like top 5 that they have, not included, and like that's not including Eric Gustafsson. Like they're guys that are probably going to have to play, are all at least 3 years left on their contracts. Where if you're gonna, I'm assuming they're gonna probably want to try and keep Gustafsson, and if not, they're probably hoping that like either Bowden, Boqvist, or Ian Mitchell can step in. And that's the thing, like all of these like prospect defensemen we have literally have 3 years left on their contracts. So if they can step in within the next 3 years at some point and like work their way up, they're going to be stepping in at a point where Connor Murphy, Oli Mata, Calvin DeHaan, their contracts are all ending, and all that money that you're spending on defensemen can be shifted to the newer prospects.
Right.
Where you would have to pay Jokiharju a year earlier, and you'd probably end up tying up close to $30 million in defensemen alone, because like I don't know who you'd want to move.
Right.
So he's probably the best piece to move, and you're kind of, I guess, it really feels like they're betting a lot on Nylander being the 8th overall pick that he was projected to be, because he's got 2 years left on his contract. But as a forward, he's coming in where like Anisimov and Saad will be having their contracts up at the exact same time. And maybe like if he can show that he can take that spot, that either makes them expendable or makes them look a lot cheaper to bring back onto the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I understand that. I mean, we all know, cough, cough, Seabrook's going to end up on LTIR at some point. Like, it's going to happen. If they can't move him, like, it's going to happen somehow, some way. They'll get him on there. And
they're going to have an assassin at practice on the ice, and he's just going to, like, take out a knee. I hope not. No, like, I shouldn't even put that out into the goddamn...
No,
no, don't do that. Yeah.
Cut that.
That's bad.
Bad take. No, it's just, I don't know. And Poetz, you had a good point too when we were texting about it. It could be something along the lines of the Bowman just looking out for the expansion draft coming up. What is it, next summer for Seattle? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if it's something along those lines, I guess I understand. I just really wish they would have got more back for him. That's my biggest problem. But I did see today, somebody tweeted out that the Hawks have been shopping Anisimov and Perlini.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those 2 guys have been getting shopped around a lot. So that's interesting. I wonder if it's going to be like if they've been trying to shop him as a pair or something just to get Anisimov out, since Perlini looked so good last year with the Hawks. Yeah,
but Hawks also only have like $2 million to spend, and I don't know if like Perlini's looking to get more than that too.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you give the guy $1 million, he can't be too upset. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, he was good last year and he scored a lot of timely goals, but. Yeah. I mean, he really hasn't proven himself as an NHL player.
He scored goals in bunches where he scored like 5 in like 3 games.
Yep, definitely. He ended up having
6 with the Blackhawks and put up 12 bingos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't. I'm looking at his contracts right now. He hasn't made anything over $863. Well, the AAV
Dollars.
1.3. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. The cap
$863.
Right.
Man, I'm making more than him. I'm not even in the show.
It's called an entry-level contract, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, he's probably looking for anything like 1.5 and above. I mean, if he was being nice, So, quick question. I was just kind of thinking right now about the whole Jokiharju thing. It wasn't necessarily a secret that he wasn't happy about being sent down to the minors a couple of different times. I'm wondering if maybe it was just bad blood and he just was looking for something new. I mean, that's kind of a rash decision to make when you're just 1 year in. But I'm wondering if he was just like, you know what, if you're just going to throw me in the minors, don't even have me.
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me because, I mean, like you said, he's a first-year guy. He's 20 years old. Defensemen take a while to get into their game and make it to the NHL. There's not many guys that come straight out of a year of or whatever, like after a year after getting drafted and making it to the show. I mean, he had a lot of good. I thought, like I said, I thought he played well with the Hawks, the games that he did play, and then he went down to the A and he was playing power play, he was playing PK, he was playing all the minutes that he should be playing, that he will be playing one day in the NHL. So it was just you need more ice time to produce your game more, and I don't see how he could be upset at that. I mean, I get you get a taste of the show and you want to stay there, like any other guy in the NHL that has ever played there. I'm sure they'd never want to leave, but he's 20 years old. He's gonna make it. So I mean, if he's that upset about playing in A, good luck playing in Buffalo, bro.
He literally just turned 20 like less than a month ago too.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if that's what it is, then maybe it's good we got him out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, going on to that Buffalo stuff, if you're saying like good luck playing in Buffalo, like maybe that's the problem with like why Nylander wasn't able to make it on that team because
that's what it sounded like.
Squad.
Definitely, and it kind of goes with the whole O'Reilly thing from last year, how he's saying he lost his love for the game. I mean, I don't know. I'm not
fucking left the team.
Yep, he would rather lose all that money than play on that team. Honestly, I don't know about you guys. I think we've talked about it. I'm not a huge Eichel fan. I don't think he gives off the good aura. I think it comes from a lot from him. I mean, it's definitely from management and coaching and everything like that. But I don't know. He's the captain, and he got a coach fired because he didn't like the coach. I mean, I don't know.
Multiple didn't Phil Housley too.
Yep, Phil Housley just lost his job there. I don't know, man. I mean, if I don't know.
I think Phil Housley and Eichel actually liked one another.
Yeah, they did.
Well, with Housley.
What's his name? Bilesma. He got Bilesma fired.
Yeah. So
went from first place to not making the playoffs. So.
Yeah, and 10-game win streak and not making the playoffs. But speaking of Buffalo's D, like they are going to look pretty good actually, and they are a team that have a lot of right-handed defensemen, especially adding Jokiharju in. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to look good on the back end for sure, including Henry Jokiharju. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet or not, but Stan Bowman has now traded every one of our first-round draft picks from 2011 all the way up until 2017. Mark McNeil, Philip Deneau, Teuvo Teravainen, Ryan Hartman, Nick Schmaltz, and now Henry Jokiharju.
Yeah, I went through and broke down everything.
The one that I'm more upset about than Jokiharju is the Philip Deneau one, because they went out and got Dale Weiss and Thomas Fleischman, and Philip Deneau is a stud core centerman that buy Anisimov if we had Philip Deneau, because that would be unreal if Deneau was in the lineup right now. And Fleischman and Weiss were something we did not need that year on that playoff run. And Dale Weiss even came out and said they didn't like me there. So it was like, why did they even do that?
Because it's the Dutch Wayne Gretzky, boys. Come on now.
What?
Dale Weiss is the Dutch Wayne Gretzky.
Oh. What year did they trade Deneau to Montreal?
That was 16.
I'm trying to think. Who the hell was our second-line center?
It was Anisimov. No, it was before the 15, wasn't it?
No,
When did they lose to the Blues? That was 16. 16.
Yeah, so that was Anisimov with Panarin and Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was playing third and fourth line. And I think that you just like not playing with anybody.
He would have been the replacement for Marcus Kruger. He would have been a more offensive Marcus Kruger.
Oh yeah.
He got the opportunity to play like top minutes in Montreal and just kind of exploded. Like that was good for him. Like he probably just wouldn't have gotten that in Chicago, which is like, like if we were to hold on to him and didn't make that trade, maybe he doesn't become the player he is today. You never know. Like I wasn't too mad about that trade at the time. Like looking back at it now, it's like, yeah, it sucks because he's fucking like showing up in Montreal. Right. But like at the time, I was like, oh, it's okay. Like he's playing third and fourth line. It's fine. Like that, I felt like we didn't really give up that much when I thought we were getting some more grit and like some hardworking fucking players. They honestly, like watching them play during that season, like they were grinding hard as hell. And it's just they got no fucking bounces, and it was just like that really sucks because like on the board, it doesn't show up that they had any points, but like we were watching those games and being like, I mean, they're fucking there.
Yeah. I don't know. The Hawks prospect camp is going to be coming up here in a couple weeks, and Alex Nylander actually just got added to that list.
I think they said it's the first 3-year pro to make it to the prospect camp.
Yeah. So he'll be there. I believe Kirby Doc will be there. So it'll be kind of cool to actually kind of get to see these guys, live and in person. And
they did give Doc a contract too.
Did they?
Yeah, they did sign his
signed
entry.
Yeah,
that's right. I totally forgot about that.
The first step, he said, the first step in getting him to play in the NHL is get signed to a contract, and like he's going to get his time in camp, and he's going to like if they're going to go from there and see what he's doing, maybe he'll get some time in the first few games of the season, maybe preseason or something. Like if the kid shows up and he's ready to fucking go, I think the Hawks are like, yeah, you're fucking going. Let's get it going.
Well, did you see that
they're going to give him 8 games? 8 games?
No, 9. I think it's 9.
Once you hit 10, you can't play.
Give him the 9.
Once you hit 10, then it burns a year off your contract.
Yeah. Have you guys looked at the Hawks Twitter page, like their actual Twitter page?
No,
not in a while.
Their banner picture, right?
God.
The one in the back.
Yeah.
It's Strome, Doc, and Tays jerseys.
Shut the hell up!
I swear to God, I saw it today. They're ready for it, dude. That's their center depth, third line or third overall pick.
I sent you guys the fucking video that he did from like before the draft, where the guy fucking handed him a fucking hair blower.
Oh my
like,
God!
Sell this to me. It's like, if you don't use this, you better use this on your head.
God.
And if you don't, I don't know, figure it out. What the fuck? Absolutely was like, oh, I'm falling in love. This is fantastic.
What did that guy say to respond to that? Because what he said was fucking so funny.
I gotta change my pants.
Yeah. Was that good? I gotta go change my pants.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't think I watched that.
It was what Tanner had sent us on Instagram.
I don't think so.
I deleted my Instagram.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's hilarious. I'll send it to you via text.
Okay.
Blow dry your hair, use this. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing. Figure it out. Just fucking love it.
Hawks Convention. They just released the list of players, coaches, alumni, and all that stuff for the convention coming up July 26th to the 28th. Pretty decent.
It's a good lineup.
It's a very good lineup. Past couple of years have been bad.
It's been slipping. I'm stoked when I saw the lineup come out. A lot of good current players: Taves, Kane, DeBrincat, Strome. A lot of big name guys. Seabrook's going to be there too.
All the guys that they acquired this offseason are going to be there.
A lot of prospects are going to be there. Doc's going to be there. Boquist, I'm stoked. I'm going to try to get his autograph. But a lot of it's weird because like all the alumni now, it's like switching from like the really old alumni guys from like the 60s and 70s to like Brian Campbell and Jamal Mayers and Ben Eager and Adam Burrish. And I'm like, I've watched these guys play.
Yeah.
And now they're alumni.
Well, I mean, it's only like 6 years ago.
I know, and it's weird too because I can't wait to see what happens next year it's gonna be the 10-year anniversary of the 2010 Cup. So
Yep.
You gotta
I'm
do
stoked
something
for that. Oh, and I don't know if you guys heard, but Dave Bolland's gonna be at the convention.
Ooh.
I don't.
Ever heard of him, Dave Bolland?
Yeah.
Number 36.
Ever heard of him?
Ever heard of him?
Only guy other than Dave Bolland, I'm super pumped. I wish I could see at the convention. Doug fucking Gilmore.
Yeah.
No
Gilmore.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Dougie Gilmore is going to be at the convention, and the 3.5 minutes that he played on the Blackhawks, that's incredible.
They should get Bobby Orr.
I just wanted to point out, I got so excited when you said Adam Boqvist and Kirby Doc. I'm just like, oh, that is the future.
Yeah.
They're gonna be sick.
Future.
Still no Amante though. I'm upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's too fat to fit through the
Oh,
doors.
fuck off.
Yeah.
Hey,
True.
bud,
Well, I mean, hey,
let's go.
well, they added Chelios and Roenick as of like last year. I think they finally got Chelios, and now they're starting to get Roenick. So I mean, they're starting to get those kind of guys in there too.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
90 guys.
And Belfour is going to be there too. So
For Larmer always comes, he'll be there. So
yep.
yeah, it should actually be a really, really good one this year, especially with the 10th anniversary for the cup. So
Well,
That's next year. So
hopefully we'll make it out there, right? You know, if any fans want to say hi to us while we're there, we'll be wearing the hats.
well, you guys will. I'm going to be in London.
Yeah, I won't be there either.
you sound like you're from London.
You sound like you're from London. All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up Hawks talk. We're going to move it along.
Speaking of Dave Bolland,
Yeah, this guy, just real small, not really a household name. So don't get too excited about the interview.
So he's the original Rat, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like they call Brad Marchand the Rat.
Well-
Like he's the original Rat. Like
I don't know. I mean, you can make a case for guys like Avery, Fleury.
nah.
Were they ever called the Rat though?
Did they
I mean,
ever
none of them were actually
Or
called the
Gabe-
Rat, but they played like rats.
playoff NA or Stanley Cup final goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
It's accurate. Okay, cool. Well, we'll move it on. David, the
Move it
Rat Bolland. All right. Well, we have probably the biggest interview that we've gotten so far. Former Stanley Cup champion, Memorial Cup champion, World Junior champion, 2004 second round, 32nd overall pick by the Chicago Blackhawks. David Bolland is on the show. David, how are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm good. How about you guys?
Oh, we are fantastic now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
That's awesome.
pumped to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be on the show.
Thank you. Well, everybody in Chicago knows how incredible of a career that you've had, especially with the Blackhawks. But I do want to start just a little bit earlier, getting a little taste of your junior career, because you started with London Knights, and your final year, you potted a solid 130 points. How was it adjusting from being the guy that was kind of the go-to guy on the London Knights to, an NHL team where you kind of had to figure out what your role was?
Yeah, it was a bit of a change. I was that go-to guy. I was on the power play and I was scoring goals and I was the main guy. And when I got to the NHL, I had to figure something else out and had to figure out how to stay up in the NHL. I played a year in the AHL and I put up some good points there, but there's a huge jump from junior to the AHL and then to the NHL. So the first year in the AHL, I was still trying to find my way. And then, excuse me, and then the year after, once I got up there, I think it was Q that kind of put me in that third line role. And I was sick of riding the bus and I'd rather be flying on planes and eating nice meals instead of eating bar food. So it was, it's a huge adjustment from the AHL to the NHL, and I wanted to stay up in the NHL, and my role was soon to be that shutdown guy.
Well, you played one game in the 06-07 season with the Blackhawks. and that was the year before Kane, Taves, the whole group of you guys came in to kind of, bring in this this whole new style. Back then, the United Center was lucky to have 5,000 fans. And do you remember that one game? Do you remember that? I mean, it was your first NHL game, so I'm sure you do. But like the differences between United Center then versus what it is now.
Oh, there's a huge difference. I'm pretty sure there was, like you said, there was probably 5,000 people in the crowd, and it was dressed up like a seat night, how it used to be. But my first game was against the Vancouver Canucks, and I lined up for my first shift was against the Sedin twins and Marcus Nazarin. So it was so it was a bit of a coincidence that I got lined up with them in my first NHL game. So it was crazy. It's just happy to see how the Blackhawks are now to when I got there in, I think it was 06 or 05, 07, around those years, and just how much it built and got better and better, and what John and Stan and Dale and a lot of guys, what they did for that organization is unbelievable.
I was going to say, like, if that was your first game, that was like the Sedin's pretty much first taste of you pestering them like nonstop for like your entire time on the Hawks, huh?
That first game was a little different. I was trying to get my feet wet, and I was looking to try to score my first NHL goal. So it wasn't much. I wasn't really much on getting on the Sedin's yet, but later on, once I got that role and I had to shut down those top guys, I had to. That's what I had to do.
So you mentioned kind of Coach Q is what kind of like set that role for you. What was it like, being coached by one of probably arguably the greatest coaches in the NHL?
Yeah, Q's a great coach. He's a great manages the guys. He's a great guy coach. He was always there when we needed him, and he was great with everything. He's one of the best coaches I've played for. For guys to have him and to play from, you're lucky to have him because he teaches you a lot about the game and off ice and a lot about everything. So I think Q's going to go down as a Hall of Fame coach, and he's one of the best coaches out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think we all kind of know from that 2010 year, just seeing how the videos of how relaxed you guys were through the playoffs against the Sharks and stuff. You guys were playing Wii and everything like that. I mean, what was it like going through that year in 2010, winning your first cup, seeing everybody raise the cup for the first time, and just how much fun you guys were having?
Yeah, I had lots of fun. It was crazy because you see the guys now. If you could imagine, if we could have kept that team, we probably would have had 4 or 5 straight cups in a row. But we had to lose Buff and Ladd and Versteeg and all those guys, and it kind of sucks with all that cap issues. But we had tons of fun. I just remember every time after we won a series, we'd all go out downtown in Chicago and have a few beers and enjoy the first round, and we'd have a good night and we'd be relaxed and get ready for the second round. So we had tons of fun that year, and just doing it in Chicago is one of the best cities.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all, like we said, you guys all kind of came up together. I mean, you guys were all in early 20s, so I mean, I've got to imagine it was a good time, especially in downtown Chicago for you guys.
Yeah, it was. We were still young and we were going out and having some fun, so it was a good time.
Well, after you guys had won the cup in 2010, 2011, like you were saying, was kind of a transition year because a lot of guys had gone, made the playoffs by the skin of your teeth, and you actually missed the first 3 games of that Vancouver series to where, the Hawks were down 3-0. And then you came back, and all of a sudden, 3 straight wins. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a coincidence or anything like that, but was there did you feel like a specific turn in the locker room when you kind of your presence was in there, or?
I know. I just remember coming back, and I think it was like the first shift I got out there, and I remember I'm pretty sure I hit someone pretty good, and the crowd started going crazy, and I think Dunks hit someone big, and I think after that, kind of the rotation, and I think everybody's like, geez, like I think we got a chance here. We can take these guys. We beat them all the time. So there was a little bit of there was a bit of a turning point there that we knew we could beat these guys. It was just getting that momentum, and we kind of had it there. And I kind of thought we did have them until that game 7, but it was just a great moment. I think just for the fans, for us coming back and almost beating Vancouver.
I think that was like the first series where like you guys did come back from pretty much down 3-0. That kind of like solidified like any other series from then on. Whenever you guys were down 3-0, like everybody was like, "Don't count Chicago out because you just come back and fire on all cylinders." And like that happened against Detroit in like 2013, and then it almost happened again against LA in like 2014, which was like crazy stuff. It was like just never count out the Chicago team. I'm pretty sure that series was the one that just kind of had everybody think about that.
No, for sure it was. Like we had great team. We had great guys in the room, and we had Taser as a great captain, and Dunks and Siebes. Those are great assistant guys that help out as well. But we just had a great group of guys that came together and stuck up for each other. If someone was getting stuck, someone was coming in to help out and to pick up the slack. But we just had a great group of guys that were with us.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of like all those guys, like Taze and Kane and Keith and all those guys, I mean, what's it like in the locker room seeing how motivated those guys are and how ready they are every year and how bad they want it every year? I mean, what's it like just being around them?
Yeah, they're great athletes. We got Taser and Kane and Dunks and Siege and Crow, and they're all competitors. They're all winners, and they want to win. Once you get that taste of winning the cup one time, you want to win every year. You don't want to be last or second. You want to be first, and you want to take that cup home all the time. So those guys are competitors, and they're great teammates, and they'll go down in history in Chicago and probably the Hall of Fame as well.
I want to go back real quick. You just mentioned a bunch of different players there. I want to talk about Corey Crawford real quick. So I know you and him have kind of been together for a long, long time. Just talk about the turnaround for Crawford. I mean, he came in 2010, 2011, split time with Turco basically, and then just kind of took off from there. But he still hadn't won the city of Chicago over until that 2013 year when you guys had won the cup. Was it one of those things where you had always known that it was in there, that it was in him, and that you knew that not having the fans on his side just yet was kind of the drive for him?
I think Crow was coming up to the minors, so we both came up through Norfolk and then Rockford, and I left, and then he stayed for a little bit longer. But Crow is a competitor, and he's a great goalie, and you can see how he is now. And some guys just take a little bit longer to get up there, and Crow did that, and look at him now. He's one of the best goalies in the league, and he's a competitor. He doesn't give up on pucks. He's always in there until the end. He's a great guy and a great goalie, and I think Chicago's lucky to have him.
So moving ahead a little bit to the 2013 season, that was just an absolute magical season. Started out with the lockout when you guys came on, and then just had that unbelievable run of just points every, what was that, and being like 25 games? Yeah. What was it like just being like, what was it like in the locker room and just around the team, like as that's going on? Like, do you guys, was it like known how special that was, or was it just kind of business as usual and then appreciate it later on?
Well, it's business as usual, but it was still a lockout. It was that lockout year. So, that whole first half of the season that you're playing, you're kind of just skating and you're getting ready for the season, or you never know when the season's going to be, right? So you have to be ready, and we were coming in and we knew we had to be ready for this season and for the playoffs. So it was a great season and a great finish to that 2013 year, because it was just great beating Boston. So
I mean, what really happened towards the end of that game. I don't know if you remember it all or recall. But
I think I blanked and missed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I went by pretty quick there. Those 2 goals came quick.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better for you. I mean, everybody dreams of scoring that game-winning goal. I mean, what was it like for you, and why the yard sale? Why'd you toss everything?
Yeah, like everybody asked, did you think the game was over? But the game wasn't over. Like, I knew the game wasn't over. If you go back and look at the tape, you see who was it? Is it Boychuk or something like that?
Yeah, Boychuk. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Boychuk, he had his stick, and his stick came over my hands, and when he caught it, he was kind of caught my hands and didn't let go. So when I started pulling, I just pulled, and I just said, "Fuck it." Just threw the gloves off, and
Game's over.
And I was like, well, the game was over, so I just threw the gloves off and the stick and celebrated. I couldn't believe how quick those 2 goals came out with Bickle and myself scoring there. So it was just a quick moment, and Boychuk got my glove caught, and I just let him go.
Well, were you surprised that Q had thrown your line out there with about a minute and I don't even know how many seconds left to go in a tie game? I mean, you guys are probably celebrating on the bench. Kane, Taves, Bickle, Keith, Seabrook, all these, top guys, top scoring guys are out on the ice. Were you surprised that Q had thrown your line out there to kind of finish out the game, or was it just, all right, let's go finish this?
No, like normally, I think it was like me, Krugs, and Fro. So our line was kind of normally the shutdown line, and I forget. I'm not even sure who was on the line, who was out there, who we were against. But normally we go out there to make sure that we shut the line down, or we had to keep the scoring down, or if it's the top line. But when Q threw us out there, we were ready to get out there, and hey, whatever happens, at least we'd go into OT or go back to before even the first goal by Bickle, we were kind of like, okay, well, we'll just go back to Chicago and we'll win the cup there, and because we won it away in Philly the first time, so the second time would be at home would be nice. But after we scored those 2 goals, we kind of thought, well, it's over now, so we'll just win it here in Boston.
Dave, I gotta thank you for that goal, by the way. Back then I had accidentally forgotten like what day it was. I kind of mixed my days up, and I actually went on a Tinder date during the cup final of Game 6, and everything was going crazy. And then you won the game, and just helped me seal the deal that night. It was absolutely fantastic. So I gotta thank you for that one.
So you got a goal and an assist on that
Congratulations.
one.
Is that when did you lose your virginity?
No, yeah. I mean before then, but
Oh, that's awesome. But speaking of like Frolik and Kruger, I mean, that line was unreal. You 3 together were so good. Like you said, you're so good at shutting down, and then you can go out and score a goal, no problem. I mean, what was it like playing with those guys? Did you guys just have unreal chemistry, or what was it?
No, we were kind of flip-flopping. I know I came back from I think it was a groin injury in that Detroit game, so I was kind of up and down and wasn't in my role, and things were going up and down. So I know my groin was still a little bit tweaked, but I came back to play in I guess that Detroit series. But with playing with Krugs and Frolik, it's kind of a safe line. You knew if something went wrong in our defensive end, I knew I could count on Fro and Kruger to be there for me, because they're great defensive guys, and they were also had a little bit of offensive skill to help out. So I think as a shutdown line, we were great, and I was just glad I was with those guys when I scored that game-winning goal.
So, which obviously, I mean, both cups are absolutely amazing, but is there one that holds a little bit more? I mean, obviously the game-winning goal, it's got to be a big one, but does that beat the first one?
Well, they're both big. I think winning my first cup and then scoring the game-winning goal to win a cup, I think they're both huge. They're both big. I can't say one of them's better than the other, but I think they're both huge.
So let's ask this then. Follow up with that. Which one had the better day with the cup?
Same thing. I think they were both fun. The first day I had the cup, we had it here in Ontario, in London, Ontario, and then I took it to my hometown in Mimico, and we had a big parade and a big party, and we enjoyed the fun. And the second time, I kind of learned from my first cup and had a little bit more time to myself with it, with my parents and my family, and took it to the hospital to see some kids. So it was good. It was both times I had it. I got to utilize it and take it around to make sure people saw it and had a great time with it.
Any good stories about parties after the cup wins or anything like that you'd like to share?
Yeah, we had some good times. I think the one there was pretty sure it was the first cup. I think our ownership, our president, and I think GM said, don't take the cup to Wrigleyville because it'll get a little crazy. And I think a few of us were like, well, we got to take it to Wrigleyville. It'd be awesome. So we were at the bleachers, the buildings across from Wrigley, and we took it up top there. Yeah, so we took it over there, and we had some fun with it. We were filling up with beer and tequila and drinking out of it. And I just remember everybody from the game was looking back on us, and they weren't watching the Cubs game. And then after that, the Cubs game was done, and we were partying up on there, and people came out on the street, and the street was so packed we had to get police escorts to come out and get us through the crowd. So there's lots of stories and fun times with that thing, and I just thought that we got to experience with the Chicago fans and take it out and around so all the Chicago fans can experience it as well.
This is a question that I'm really curious, just because your role, you're great at just getting underneath all these players' skins and just push them to the point where, they just get it's beyond frustrated. I'm really curious to see, wondering how you feel about the way Brad Marchand, takes this role, because you guys do it two completely different ways. And I was just kind of more curious to see how you feel about his way of doing it.
Yeah, everybody plays their own role. I think his is a little edgier. He gets a little more licking of the face and kissing guys and a few other things. But I think there's a lot of guys that play different roles, and I know how I played my role was playing hard and trying to get under guys' skins, but also to shut them down and make sure they didn't score on our net. But the way Marchand does it, hey, it's the way he does it, and he's a competitor as well, and he's a top line guy in the league. He's a scorer. He puts assists up. He does a little bit of everything. So guys have different ways of doing it, and he's doing a good job of it.
Would you have licked anyone's face?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
Yeah. Well, after that win in 2013, kind of the same thing as it was in 2010. Blackhawks had to make some moves. Unfortunately, you were one of them. You made it up north to Toronto. What was that transition like, going from the Hawks to the Maple Leafs? Still an Original Six franchise, still a crazy fan base, but definitely two organizations in different directions at the time.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I think my time with the Hawks was coming to an end there, and with money and cap space, like always. So I was hoping to be a Hawk for life, but it's a business, and that's just the way hockey goes nowadays. So, but I was fortunate enough and thankful for Stan Bowman to send me to Toronto as my hometown and where I grew up, and where I was a Leaf fan when I was a kid. So I got to fulfill my dream of playing for my hometown and playing for the Leafs. And the difference, there's kind of no difference there. Two Original Six teams, two ownerships that take care of their players and will do anything to help their team win. So there was nothing as different as that. But I know there was different transitions through the Hawks were already Stanley Cup, and the Leafs are building to be a Stanley Cup team. So there was some difference there, but I was there for a little bit of time. I think I played about 15 games, and I cut my ankle there, my peroneal tendon, and my season was done, and the end was there with the Leafs.
Well, I mean, you said you want to be a Hawk for life, and I think now that your historic Coyotes career is over, I think everybody's going to remember you as a Blackhawk from now on. So that's for sure.
Yeah. So I know all my years, my best years were with the Hawks. I'll always, my heart's always in Chicago, and I always love Chicago.
Yeah, we definitely wish you would have been on a part of the team going forward too. And it's just unfortunate how that had to happen. But I mean, thank you for all those years that you gave us. That was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, thank you for being fans. Like, I think Chicago has the best fan base in the league. I just remember going from every city to city to whenever we played, and there were Chicago fans everywhere. So I was just glad I was drafted by Chicago. I know when I was getting drafted, they had me projected in the first round around 20 to 30. And at the time you kind of want to go first round and to be a first round pick, but now you kind of look back, and I'm kind of glad I went second round and went 32nd overall, because the Hawks weren't that well. They're transitioning to be a better team, and they're looking for players, and being that top pick in the second round kind of helped me get to the NHL quicker and play for the Hawks.
Yeah, I think we're all thankful of that too. I mean, the convention list just came out, says that you're going to be there. I mean, are you excited to be back at the convention, see all the guys again?
Yeah, I can't wait to be back. It'll be fun. I haven't been there in a few years, and it's always a blast going to the convention and seeing the fans and taking pictures and signing autographs and doing the Q&A with everybody. So I'm pretty jacked for it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting for sure to see you with the Blackhawk fans again. Your contract officially expired with the Coyotes. Any plans for after career that you started to kind of think about, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the plans are. So I'll keep hanging out right now and searching around, and I'm not too sure. So right now it's just enjoying my life and traveling and having some fun and playing a lot of golf, and maybe get back to work soon.
Well, if you ever want to chat a little bit more on here, we're more than happy to have you. We'll tell some stories or something. Just have a good time.
Yeah. Let me know when. I'm always glad to help.
We've got a men's league team that's usually missing a couple of guys per game, so we'll give you a ring too.
Yeah, let me know about that.
Awesome. Well, David, like I said, we cannot thank you enough for taking the time to talk and to answer, some questions that I'm sure that you've answered about 1,003 times already. So
yeah, it's all good. Anything for Chicago fans. So I've always I love Chicago, and any way I can help out in Chicago is what I want.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate everything that you did for the Blackhawk organization. You were always one of the favorite Blackhawks that we got to cheer on. So thank
awesome
you again. And
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one, eh?
Hey, you too.
Awesome.
See you at the convention. I
Okay.
love you.
Yeah. See you guys.
Dave,
All right, so
I didn't mean to say I love you.
no, you did. You 100% did.
I did.
Don't you
Yeah.
ever take that away.
Yeah.
He laughed.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question now. Are you upset that he laughed because now he feels like it's not real, or are you okay with it?
Well, considering he only laughed twice, I think, in the whole interview, and that was one of them. I'll take it, and the other one he asked Tanner if he lost his virginity, so I'll take that. So
Fucking right, bud.
I like how you caught yourself during that, Tanner. You're like, yeah, well, no, before that. I was like 11. I don't know.
Come on, bro, knock it off.
Come on, bud.
Damn it. That was incredible. Honestly, that was so cool.
I just love the fact that he kept saying he'll do anything for Hawks fans and how much he loves Chicago. So,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think now that he's officially retired, he's gonna be known to Hawks fan as a Blackhawk the rest of his life.
Oh yeah,
He already was, but I mean, now it's like he can officially embrace it and all that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you actually kind of also go over this season that he played with Toronto and the 2 he played with Florida, he maybe played less than a whole season altogether.
Yeah, but how many did he have in Arizona?
What?
Zero. It was 0 games played. It's fine.
You know who's gonna have a couple more than 0 games played in Arizona?
Feel the thrill.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Phil Kessel.
NHL talk. Here
What's
we
going to
go.
happen? You know what's going to happen?
Ciao.
People in Arizona are actually going to go and watch hockey games now.
What?
Guaranteed. Because
What?
ticket sales have skyrocketed.
How
from this
high?
time last year.
How high did they skyrocket?
Oh fuck! Season ticket sales 600%. Regular season, just game tickets 500%.
Those even
So,
aren't real
can I-
percentages.
Can I ask?
we gonna
Is
go
this,
ahead?
is this Phil Kessel? Is this Phil Kessel or is this our boy Sam?
I was literally just about to ask that question. God
Is
damn
it
it.
Phil or is it our boy Sam? I don't know.
I think it's Sam.
I don't know. He's pretty great.
It's Sam. I think Sam.
I mean, he brought Phil to Arizona, so I think you got to give it to Sam.
And he brought the news to us first. So
Keep it up, Sam.
know. He's
Good
doing
shot,
great.
Sam. You're crushing it. You are crushing it out in AZ.
Those checks will eventually come your way.
Yeah. Not from us, but probably from your employer.
I hope they've been coming already. So
Yeah.
But did you see those? Did you
Yeah.
see those shirts?
yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at the Arizona
I agree.
on Cap Friendly, and I was just like, man, if they can stay healthy, they'll be fucking good.
Those shirts too that they're putting out for Phil.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah.
Tanner,
What?
goalie question. Have
Yeah.
you been seeing some of the tweets online about people asking who's actually going to be the starting goalie in Arizona next year?
What? No.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's hilarious.
Are they serious?
They're
Yeah.
dead serious. They're
Like-
not sure if it's going to be Antti Ranta or
Darcy Kemper.
Face McGee, Darcy Kemper. Yeah, thank you.
What?
Yeah.
It's because
No.
Kemper.
You know what?
It's
And
because Kemper played so well when Ranta was hurt.
he did.
Ranta is
Let's call a spade a spade.
filthy.
Antti Ranta is going to end up being your starter. That's the person that you want to be your starting goaltender.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pay Antti Ranta 4.2 and then sit him on the bench and let Darcy Kemper get paid 1.8 and
Yeah.
play over him, unless he's terrible, but he won't be.
No, he won't be. I mean, if anything, he'll get hurt again.
If he gets hurt again.
Yep.
Who else did they have last year? Was it Scott Wedgwood?
Scott Wedgwood.
For a little
yeah,
bit.
Darcy Kemper, Scott Wedgwood.
Aiden Hill.
Person.
Aiden
Yes,
Hill. That was
Aiden
the
Hill,
one
thank
that he
you.
fucking tore it up.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
When we did our preseason thing last year, I was like, who the fuck is Aiden Hill?
Yeah, we said a lot of funny things.
Arizona was
Yeah.
a rough go for us
we
in
don't
that.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Usually-
All right.
Okay. No, honestly, it's going to be a pretty exciting time out in out in
desert.
Arizona next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very exciting time. I hope. You know what? That place is. It's always fun to see that place when they're in playoff contention because the crowd does get pretty rowdy. That place does go pretty bonkers. So,
I mean, just like a little preview of like the season to come. Like with Phil on that team, and like they just missed the playoffs.
And they were hurt.
That division really didn't get any better.
no.
It's obviously
It actually got worse, probably.
that's the worst division I think in hockey right now.
Well, you're definitely going to do better than Edmonton. So
yeah.
I wonder. Do you think that there's going to be some sort of a transition period for Phil, whether it's like good or bad?
No.
I don't-
from going from East to West because he's only known East Coast teams his entire time. Not East Coast, but Eastern
Conference.
This whole time coming out to the Western Conference. I'm wondering because I've heard that sometimes
Yeah, I mean, guys like Carl Hagelin had a rough time. David Perron didn't do well in the East, but he does really well in the West. Carl Hagelin, complete opposite. I don't think so because
It's still hockey. It's not like it's National League Baseball and American League Baseball. Like,
yeah, but it's different. It's a different style of play. It's different divisions. It's different travel. Like Arizona, you're in 2 different time zones. Like
travel time's a little bit different too because the teams are a little bit more spaced out.
Yeah, so I mean, it is different. I would say no. I think he might actually do better because
That's what I mean.
one, he's in a low market area, even though tickets are skyrocketing. It's not like Toronto. It's not like Pittsburgh. It's Arizona. Like this is the kind of place that he wants to play in, where he can just go light it up and then just go sit on the beach, or not the beach, but like sit by the pool and just relax and eat a hot dog. But and not only that, but he's got his Tocchet. Like him and Tocchet were boys when when Tocchet was with Pittsburgh. So I mean, I think that's going to help him ease into a transition way quicker. And not only that, it's his 4th team. Like he's used to this.
That's true.
If I'm him, I'm kind of excited because that's a team where it's like it's his team again.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Toronto, but like without all the media hype all the time. You know, like
yep.
Like if he has a bad game, like they're not gonna fucking destroy him. Like
they're not gonna lynch him. Right?
They're gonna be like, oh man, Phil was kind of off tonight. Hopefully he'll be better next game.
Like how he was like the savior in Toronto, like every fucking game, no matter what. And he's gonna produce because he's Phil fucking Kessel. He's sick.
Because he was on the shitty Toronto Maple Leafs at the time and still putting up 40 goals every season.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
But he was a bad hockey player and uncoachable.
I don't understand.
Champion.
In like Clayton Keller and Jesus Christ,
Christian Dvorak, Vinny Hinostroza,
Well,
Michael
and if you
Grabner.
think about it, he probably knows that team could actually be something special because he was supposed to get traded to the Minnesota Wild, and he took one look at that and went, absolutely not, and nipped that right in the bud. As soon as this trade come up, he was like, oh, hell yeah. I think,
I don't know, did we talk about this last podcast? I don't remember, but he handcuffed the Penguins. So he had to give him a 10 team trade list that he would go to, and 9 out of the 10 teams were teams that the Penguins would not deal with, and Arizona was the only team that they actually had like good communication with, that they would actually make a deal with. So he
every
handcuffed
team
them.
Every
like,
team
I'm
was
staying here. I'm going to Arizona.
Yeah, every team was a rival.
Like teams that they couldn't deal with. It was teams that like either couldn't afford them or teams in like their own division, like that kind of
like Washington Islanders, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he wanted to be there, especially with Tocchet, like I said. I mean, they stay healthy. Watch out, guys. That could be a scary team. Thank God. Well, I don't know. They're gonna be in the Central in a couple of years, so yikes.
Yeah, Phil puts up a Phil season, and maybe you get Clayton Keller back on like what he did his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be scary.
That'll be fun.
All you have to do is pair him up with Phil, and he'll get assists.
He'll be fine.
Just chip the puck out, Phil will wheel down the side and rip it far side and score.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the Coyotes are going to get some fans finally filling their arena, and it sounds like the New York Islanders might be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're getting themselves a brand new place, and it looks beautiful.
So how long into that arena do they go? Yeah, we're going to go back to the Barclays Center and also the
Nassau.
We're just going to have 3 arenas.
Yeah, we're going to split all 3.
Yikes. I don't know, man. Fuck the Islanders.
Islanders such a shit show. Like,
I mean, in a weird way, are they the Edmontons of the East?
Oh, yeah. They even have Eberle.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like everything they do, they just can't do anything right. They try very hard, but it just never works out.
They like always make the playoffs almost. Like,
yeah, and how many times have they gotten to the second round? Twice.
Okay.
Twice.
There's like worse teams out there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Edmonton. They get to the playoffs here and there, and then
no, not really. They got like there once.
I don't think it's essentially.
In a while, like
I feel like the only other team more Edmonton than Edmonton, or close to Edmonton than Edmonton, is the Senators.
The Senators were in the Eastern Conference Finals like 2-3
I don't
years
think
I'm
he's.
talking
I don't
about
think
just
they're
being a
talking
shit
about
show.
I don't think they're talking about talent wise. I think they're just talking about straight shit show. Like,
ago. Ottawa for sure.
Yeah.
Ottawa lost everything.
Yeah. Thanks to that Uber driver.
I don't know.
Definitely his fault.
I still can't get over that Twitter thread of everything that's gone wrong for the Ottawa Senators since the conference final Game 7.
Yeah, that was
And it's
unreal.
incredible. It literally just goes from bad to worse. Some guy had a heart attack in the stands and died. Like, how do you?
I don't mean to laugh.
That explains
but-
Ottawa very well.
Yeah.
You show up and then you just die.
Where dreams and fans go to die. Okay, let's not joke about this anymore.
Yeah.
Let's stop putting that in the universe.
Yep,
speaking-
all right, let's reel her back in.
But speaking of the Uber video, Duchesne, did you see his little signing present with Nashville?
guitar.
Yeah, he's in the right place.
He's in the right place.
Talking about the welcome mat.
Oh God.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I love that.
All right, so Islanders, new stadium.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That's all I gotta say.
2 years.
sketch.
2 years too late.
Huh?
Yeah.
2 years too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, now they're just trying to make their bid to keep Barzell.
Yeah.
Hey, their arena's coming, I swear.
Maybe that's their bid to get Tavares back.
Ah.
Or
Or bid to get Mitch Marner.
he's left on a contract right now.
Yeah.
Is there any offer sheet news out there?
No.
I would love to see this.
No. It's
So-
not
Yeah.
going to happen. Nobody's getting
No,
offer
I'm just curious what's going on.
Since last week, the Hurricanes matched the offer sheet for Sebastian Aho.
This is what happened since the last episode that we've done about offer sheets. Everybody tweeting about it's going to happen. It actually happening? Nah.
Yeah, it's been everyone begging for an offer sheet. Just like, come on.
Just
on.
every NHL insider. I swear, I heard it. One's coming. You watch it. It might happen tomorrow. Okay, well, it's been 3 weeks and nothing's happened.
It's just
And
clickbait
nada.
bullshit.
Yeah, we're officially hitting that lull of the off season though.
Yeah.
Hey, good news though. The other day they showed all three of the Hawks Stanley Cup victories, and then they showed the 2010
There you go.
Stanley Cup video on NHL Network. So that was cool.
Nice.
That was fun.
Fucking right, Chicago.
I think the only other NHL news was Michael Furlan getting signed to a 4-year contract in Vancouver for a 3.5 million AAV. And one person tweeted out, I think a Vancouver either writer or fan, he's got the blue check mark, but he tweeted out, the Canucks had one job this summer, and it was not to take on any significant money for 21-22 and beyond when Pedersen and Hughes come up for new deals. Then they went out and committed $14.75 million for those future seasons to JT Miller, Tyler Myers, and Michael Furlan.
That's tough.
Oh,
That's
they gave up a first-round pick for JT Miller.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Also, Capo Caco signed in New York.
Yeah.
Him and Artemi are going to be pretty sick together.
I just,
Artemi's
Unless
dance.
I'm
I was
not.
going to say, unless Artemi is still hashtag in one.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Hey, $80 million dance, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
fucking.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Vancouver. I mean, not a guaranteed playoff team, and could have possibly just given Tampa Bay like a top 3 pick, possibly like a lottery pick. Like Tampa doesn't need a fucking lottery pick, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys saw on the ESPYs, the Blues won the comeback team of the year, and the beginning of the speech, Ryan O'Reilly's up there, and he says, "I'm going to take my tooth out so I don't spit on anybody in the front row," and takes his tooth out and starts his speech. So
that's pretty funny.
O'Reilly,
Yeah.
guy's guy.
Did you guys see that Jordan Bennington was in the sitting in the seats the entire time with his sunglasses on?
No.
Outside?
Just like, yeah, no, I'm not a part of
Yeah.
that. I'm
So-
not nervous. I don't want to get on stage. I'm not nervous.
People kept on tweeting out. They're like, "Does anybody want to check on Bennington? I feel like this is weekend at Bernie's."
Just check his vitals real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe he's upset because he didn't have a contract yet.
He's fucking stone cold.
Did you guys?
He's
Did
not
you?
signed yet?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
Did
They
you?
haven't done much. The Blues.
I think they're still partying.
I was gonna say
Might be.
probably
They
can't
might have
get into they probably can't get into contract discussions because these guys are shit faced.
Just hey, do you want to sign?
Well, no. Management's
Like
probably
Brian Hartman, nobody's
Oh,
answering
yeah.
their phone.
Yeah, right.
management would be hammered as well. Like everybody's just shit faced. They're trying to pay guys in fucking beers at this point.
I mean,
I
to
was
be
gonna say
fair,
this is how contract negotiations are going between Doug Armstrong and players. Listen, I think you could really just be like about $14.5 worth. You tell me. That's just what I think for 5 years.
I mean, to be fair, Anheuser-Busch is
To be fair.
in St.
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah,
So,
God's beer.
God, this is God's country. I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think good thing we wasted all the good stuff on Dave Bolland.
Yeah. Well, I think some of the good stuff came up before that we started recording it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I let it out earlier.
exactly. You still had one little "I love you" left in there.
Well,
And
it didn't all make it
found
out,
our
but I
way
waited till the end of the interview.
Yeah. You can tell you're bouncing in your seat. You're like, I can't wait to tell him. Can't wait to tell him how much I love him.
Well, I didn't. Well, we can
Yeah.
stop. It's over.
He's gonna take one listen to this podcast and go, "Oh fuck, I never should have did that. Never should have did that.
Shouldn't have done that.
I should not have said that." All right, that is it for us for episode 65. The Andrew Shaw, welcome back. For Poetz, Nolly, Tanner, and Jarom. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Dave Bolland, we love you.
Love you, Bolland.
Follow the boys on Twitter at WCBPodcast, on Instagram at WCBPodcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast.